Hey everyone, this is Cutting Down the Nets. We're back for Friday, February 2nd. Short slate of games, so I'll go through these really quickly. I will first point out that we finally had a pretty damn good day yesterday. 5-2 overall, half point away from 6-1. Helps soften the blow from a little slide this week, so at 53.4% on the year. Anything I bet will be on BetStamp, username CDTN, and then this spreadsheet is the links on Twitter, the links in the description of this video. It's pretty much updated in real time all the time. So let's dig into today's schedule. We have at the top, sorted by value, Buffalo against Kent State. So some good, some bad here. The Paddy number's at 3.2. The median is a little bit higher in Kent State's favor. Shot quality year-to-date, I have around 7 and recent 3. So you kind of get a feeling that we're in that 3 to 6.5, 3 to 7 range, somewhere in there. And we're getting 8.5 points. That's really what it came down to for me. I do think there's some turnover concerns on the Buffalo side, but this line still has some value. And my year-to-date number is probably, I think, 9, something like that. But again, I ignore kind of those early games just fall off until I'm just always focusing on the last 6 to 15 games without giving them way too much secret sauce there. So I have played that. That numbers, all these are still available as of right now. It's not oh yeah, those numbers are long gone. Cornell, Dartmouth. This one, I was kind of on the fence on. I don't like laying 10.5 points. Certainly don't like doing it on the road. Looking at Cornell's schedule, they haven't really blown anyone out yet, but they don't need a blowout here. I mean, we're looking for 11, not 20. So I think that adds a little bit of encouragement for me. The other thing in looking at the schedules of both of these teams, so I'll start with Cornell. I'll just bring Cornell over and kind of see how Cornell's done. But Dartmouth is 338. We have not played many teams in the 300s, just Lafayette. And Brown's pretty close there. So when I said Cornell's not blowing anybody out, you see a lot of 10 to 12 to 15. But if I go to the Dartmouth side of things, Dartmouth has played not too many top 100 teams. They lost to Princeton by 18, lost to Yale by 15. Vermont's close there at 11, got blown out by Duke, not surprised there. UMass Lowell, kind of a blowout there. So each time that they're not facing a 200 to 300 team, I think that's pretty healthy there for what to expect. So this is not something where oh yeah, Cornell's got this game by 20 points. I don't think that at all. I think it's probably that 14-ish range, but hey, there's some value there with 10.5. Just don't love laying points on the road. Quinnipiac, Manhattan. So nothing really scared me away here. Again, laying 6.5 on the road isn't my jam typically, but let's dig into that matchup real quick. Looking at Quinnipiac, I'll kind of blow this up a little bit too. So I put in the notes. What did my notes say about this game? It said, nothing scared me away. Jasper possessions could be limited, second chance limited, free throws limited. You're just going to need Quinnipiac to score. What I mean by that is, we'll start with the offense. So Quinnipiac is shooting 49.7% from 2, 32.7% from 3. Both of those numbers are lower than what Manhattan allows. So from a shooting perspective, that's fair. That's decent. Now let's move to turnovers. So Manhattan does not protect the ball. Quinnipiac can turn it over. So I think you now have limited the amount of true possessions Manhattan can have. Next, we get to the fact that Manhattan does not grab offensive rebounds, 302nd in offensive rebound rate, and that is the strength of Quinnipiac. So less shots to begin with through turnovers. Now we take a shot. If we don't make it, likely held to one possession there. But what about the possessions where there's a foul? Well, they don't draw fouls. Manhattan does not draw fouls, mainly because they're shooting a lot of jump shots, and Quinnipiac does not foul. So possessions are at a premium here on the Manhattan side, and that's why it's like, man, I feel like you can get some consistent stops, either with turnovers or limiting a bad shooting team to one opportunity. That's ultimately why I pulled the trigger on that game. Dayton keeps laying points, keeps covering. It's got to stop at some point, right? But they've handled their business against teams of this caliber and haven't really caught one of these at home yet. So kind of liking it. Still not sure what to do with Dayton long term, like in the dance, but they just keep showing up, getting it done. Columbia, Harvard is in yellow. So my concerns here is that on the year, Columbia is an excellent three-point shooting team. You have to decide if, hey, we have like 18 games done, 20 games done. Is that enough evidence to say like, yeah, this team just shoots? Or is it, I don't know, they shoot 49% from two, but 38% from three. Likely some regression there. So I don't know. Shot quality's like fair. They have three guys shooting over 40%. So they got dudes. I don't know. One thing I'll point before I close here is some of these bets, yes, it's because of Paddy, but this KenPom number at this stage in the season is pretty efficient. So if we are 3.5 light on KenPom, 3 off KenPom, there should be really good reasons for that. I'll pick on this game down here. Siena and Ryder. Siena's been without like 2 of their top scorers in a mix of games over the last 10 games. So I get it why that there could be a discrepancy there, but there needs to be really good reasons why we're 3 points, 4 points off of KenPom at this stage of the game. So in looking at the Columbia Harvard, like it's like, maybe some regression, but ultimately this becomes just a play on the number, not the team. And it's just like, look, I have a lot of evidence that says this should be right around 4, maybe 5. So this 7 has gone too far. The reason I haven't bet it is I don't like betting on Columbia in this spot, but most don't. But now at this point, since it's climbed from 5 to 5.5 to 6 to 7, now I'm kind of waiting, like, when is top? Can I get a 7.5 or can I get an 8? Will that stop at some point? But that is definitely on my radar at this point. So that leads me to my pool. I've played these first 4 and then am monitoring Columbia at this time. So that's your Friday. Tomorrow looks like a big slate of games, so should be fun. And we'll see. I coach 3rd grade basketball, so we play Saturdays at 10. So if I can get to it tonight, I'll get a video out. But either way, the spreadsheet will be updated. So this is cutting down the nets. I see a lot of repeat faces over and over. That's a good thing. I'm a different type of handicapper. I'm an amateur, not a pro, but you're not going to get touty stuff from me of like, this is the lock of the day, or in my last 5 days, I'm up 16 units. I am not focused on each day. It's like, can I be profitable during this college basketball season? And you just kind of ride those waves. You're going to have some ups, you're going to have some downs. But some people invest way too much into like, how did I do today? How did I do yesterday? Obviously, you want to win. You don't want to lose. But try not to get too high with the highs and don't get too low with the lows. Keep an even keel. It's supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, you're likely playing too much, or I don't know, need to go touch some grass or something. So there's some parting words from cutting down the nets. We'll see you for the big Saturday slate. Good luck, everybody.